Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today I will be talking about the hatred towards the Jews and the Christians. Why Muslims will never stop fighting the Jews. With what's going on in Middle East right now, many people asking for ceasefire. Many people talking about peace negotiation. Well, I will tell you one thing. Those people are ignorant. They are morons. They don't know Islam. If if they're not ignorant, they will read Hadith. They will read Quran. That's if they're not ignorant. But they're so ignorant. They think there's a solution to stop the war between the Jews and the Muslims. The war between them will never stop. Because from Quran to Hadith, you can read how much Allah and the Prophet hate the Jews. Sahih al-Bukhari, Hadith number 25. Narrated Ibn Umar, Allah's messenger said, I have been ordered by Allah to fight against the people until they testify that none has the right to be worshipped but Allah, and that Muhammad is Allah's messenger, and offer the prayers perfectly and give the obligatory charity. So if they perform that, then they save their lives and property from me, except for Islamic laws. And then the reckoning will be done by Allah. So if those people refuse to say the Shahada, then their lives and property are not saved from Muhammad. Their property can be taken at any time. Their lives can be taken at any time. Their blood becoming halal. To kill them is permissible. That's what it means. Let us read Surah Al-Baqarah, verse 65. You are already aware of those of you who broke the Sabbath. We said to them, be disgraced apes. Here is showing how Allah hates the Jews who broke the Sabbath. It is a bit funny because Allah cursed them. And because, why would Allah do that? Because the Muslims don't have the Sabbath. And Allah is okay with that. Very weird. Surah Al-Ma'idah, verse 59 to 60. Let us read. Say, O people of the book, do you disapprove of us for no other reason that we believe in Allah and the revelation that hath come to us and which came before, and that most of you are rebellious and disobedient? Say, shall I point out to you something much worse than this? By the treatment it received from Allah, those who incurred the curse of Allah and His wrath, those of whom some He transformed into apes and swine, those who worshipped evil, these are worse in rank and far more astray from the even path. So again, people who don't accept Allah will be cursed by Allah, and some of them will be transformed into pigs and apes. Yep, again, Allah cursing. When you go to verse 59, as you can see, say people of the book, it means the Christians and the Jews, both. So even from Quran, when the revelation came down to Muhammad, many of the revelations are just hatred towards the Jews and the Christians. Why? Because they rejected Prophet Muhammad and Allah. Let us read. Sahih Muslim, hadith number 1767a. It has been narrated by Umar ibn al-Khattab that he heard the Messenger of Allah say, I will expel the Jews and the Christians from Arabian Peninsula and will not leave any but Muslim. So this is the vision of Prophet Muhammad, that Arabian Peninsula is free of the Jews and the Christians, which is weird because at one point maybe everyone was Muslim in Arabian Peninsula. But then when they get oil, they became rich, but they don't know how to drive. They call drivers who are Hindus, who are Christians, who are pagans. They don't care. Those people who build any building in Dubai, in Saudi, those people are not Muslims. Many of them are not Muslims. That's very weird. Why would they expel the Jews and the Christians just to call them back to work? Very strange. Sahih Muslim, hadith number 2922. Abu Hurairah reported Allah's Messenger as saying, the last hour would not come unless the Muslims will fight against the Jews, and the Muslims would kill them, until the Jews would hide themselves behind a stone or a tree. And a stone or a tree would say, Muslim, or the servant of Allah, there's a Jew behind me, come and kill him. But the tree of Gargad would not say, for it is the tree of the Jews. This hadith showing two things. First, even a tree and a stone hates the Jews. And secondly, the last hour would not come unless the Muslims will fight against the Jews. So imagine if the Muslims have peace with the Jews right now. So it means the last hour will never come. Al-Qaeda, ISIS, Boko Haram, all this, Abu Sayyaf, they want caliphate. They want to build Islamic state. They want a caliph to be back. And more than that, they want the last hour to come. That's why those people will never stop fighting. Those people will not stop fighting. And again, when we go back to Al-Bukhari hadith number 25, the goal is, one thing is, the goal is everyone must say the Shahada. Right? The last hour is what they're hoping for. Most Christians, they don't want the last hour to come because maybe they don't feel ready. Right? They want everyone to know Jesus and then the last hour to come. But Muslims are the opposite. They want the last hour to come as soon as possible, right now. Let's go to another one. Sahih al-Bukhari, hadith number 3053. Narrated Sa'id bin Jubair. Ibn Abbas said, Thursday. What took place on Thursday? Then he started weeping till his tears wetted the gravels on the ground. Then he said, on Thursday the illness of Allah's Messenger was aggravated. And he said, fetch me writing materials, so that I may have something written to you, after which you will never go astray. The people differed in this matter, and people should not differ before a prophet. They said, Allah's Messenger is seriously sick. The prophet said, let me alone, as the state in which I am now is better than what you are calling me for. The prophet on his deathbed gave 3 orders, saying, expel the pagans from the Arabian Peninsula, respect and give gifts to the foreign delegates as you have seen me dealing with them. I forgot the third. Yaqub ibn Muhammad said, I asked Al-Mughira bin Abdul Rahman about the Arabian Peninsula and he said, it comprises Mecca and Medina, Al-Yamama and Yemen. Yaqub added, and Al-Arj, the beginning of Tihama. So the hadith writer forgot the third order, but anyway, the first thing Muhammad said, get rid of the pagans. So Muhammad's vision is Arabian Peninsula is only for Muslims. Again, although at the end, what he didn't know, Prophet Muhammad didn't know at the time, those Muslims calling non-Muslims to work. Anyway, as you can see, the name of the chapter, can one intercede for the dhimmi or deal with them? What is dhimmi? Dhimmi is the Christians, the Jews, and the pagans. When we pay jizya, when we pay the tax, protection tax to the Muslims, we will be called dhimmi. Let me show you one more hadith from Musnad Ahmad. This one is Da'if Jidan, which is supposed to be very weak, but then again, this is hadith written by Ahmad ibn Hanbal, supposed to be a scholar in Islam. Why would he write a hadith that is very weak? It's beyond me. Let us read. It was narrated that Ali said, the messenger of Allah said, O Ali, if you are appointed in charge after I am gone, then expel the people of Najran from the Arabian Peninsula. As you all know, people of Najran was Christians. They were Christians. And this is the hadith. When you go to a Muslim website, for example, this one here, islamka.info, you can see just the title. In the battle between the Jews and the Muslims at the end of time, the aggressors will be the Jews. They only blame the Jews. The aggressors will be the Jews. Look at that. In the battle between the Jews and Muslims at the end of time. This is exactly like what Al-Bukhari, hadith number 25, saying. This is the same thing like this Sahih Muslim, hadith number 2922. The last hour would not come unless Muslims will fight against the Jews. So that's why a lot of Muslims now they expect the fight to be continued against the Jew. So the end of time will come. And sadly, many people in the West are refusing to read. They're like Muslims, they refuse to read Quran and Hadith. If they just read Quran and Hadith, they will know why the fight between the Jews and the Muslims will never cease, will never stop. There will be no ceasefire. I mean, there's a temporary ceasefire, definitely, there will be, but not a real peace. Qatar does not dare to fight Israel. That's why Qatar chooses to give money to Hamas to fight the Israelis, to fight Israel. Because why? They're cowards. Again, someone in the parliament in Egypt, he ripped the peace agreement between Egypt and Israel. And then what? Egypt doesn't dare to fight Israel. They learn from history. Syria doesn't dare. Jordan doesn't dare. Saudi Arabia doesn't dare. Iran just talk. Turkey doesn't dare to attack Israel. What happened? Somebody at work saying, oh, that's because Israel has nuclear weapon. Don't worry. Call the Pakistanis. Pakistan has nuclear weapon too. What are you afraid of? If the purpose to eliminate the Jews, then fight, right? But the fact that they don't fight them, they don't fight the Jews because they have no guts. They know they will lose. A lot of Iranians at work, they were hoping the Iranians that Iran will fight against Israel. Why? Because they know Iran will lose. That way they can change the regime. A lot of Iranians actually they root for the Jews because they know no the Jews will win. Well, anyway, this is why all these Quran verses and Hadith. This is why the Muslims will never stop fighting the Jews. The hatred is just way too deep. 1400 years of hate. Can you erase that in one day, in 1 week? Of course not. Only through knowing the true God, then hate will be changed with love. When love rules, life will be so much different. But Muslims do not have this. They don't know. They don't have peace, but because they don't have love. They don't have love because they don't know the true God. They don't know the Messiah. When you accept Jesus, your hate will be crucified. Your past will be crucified. New life begins. Anyway, that's all from me for tonight. Thank you for watching and listening. Whether you're a Jew or a Christian, whether you're a pagan or a Muslim, God bless you all. Have a nice life.